think of Mexico, what ancient cultures come to mind? The Olmec, Aztec, Maya?
What about Hebrew? That's right. The Jewish culture is one of the oldest cultures in the world, but it's not one that many people would associate with Mexico.
Yet Mexico has almost 40,000 Jewish residents, most living in Mexico City.
And, as you'll see in this next CNN report, Mexico's Jewish community has woven itself into the fabric of Latin American society while retaining its Hebrew traditions and teachings.
This is not a picture of Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, or even New York. It is Mexico City on a Saturday, as Orthodox Jews return from synagogues in observance of Shabbat, or the Sabbath. Though numbering only some 40 to 50,000 people, Mexico's Jews, most of them living in the capital city, are a thriving community and a model of organization in the Jewish diaspora. Although Jews have resided in Mexico since the Spanish conquest, the largest waves of immigration to Mexico from Eastern Europe, the Balkans, and the Middle East came in the 20s and 30s as Jews sought to escape the chaos left in the aftermath of the First World War. The collapse of the Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian empires, the Russian Revolution, systematic anti-Jewish massacres or pogroms. Some also came in the 1940s to escape the horror of the Nazi final solution, the Holocaust that exterminated 6 million Jews. Those lucky enough to make it to Mexico found that their brethren had already begun to plant roots. The Mount Sinai Orthodox Synagogue, Mexico's oldest in the heart of the capital's historic center, was built in 1923, not far from the still lively tenements and markets where many newly arrived Jews once plied their wares as street vendors. Yet from humble beginnings came prosperity, a vibrant cultural and social life, distinction in the sciences and the arts, like the paintings of Fanny Rabel, a protege of Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo, considered one of Mexico's greatest modern artists. But integration into Mexican society did not mean an end to Jewishness. The importance of preserving tradition and heritage is readily understood by the students of the Sephardic School, one of a dozen Jewish academies in the city that prepares pupils for university. By the time its students reach high school age, they are fully bilingual in both Spanish and Hebrew, having studied Hebrew early on in a computerized language laboratory. Throughout the school, there are reminders of historical and emotional ties to Israel, and Hebrew songs evoke a faraway spiritual homeland. No longer the modest temples of the past, Mexico City's synagogues are now opulent, and adherence to religious faith remains a core value of the Mexican Jewish identity for both young and old. This is a weekly class at the Kabbalah Center, where adults study the complexities of Jewish mysticism. Unlike the congregation of the Bet El Conservative Synagogue, the majority of Mexico's Jews belong to Orthodox sects. As in Israel, there are divisions and sometimes tensions between rival Jewish religious traditions, as well as between religious and secular-minded Jews. But leaders in the community say tolerance is their hope for all of Mexico.
We are completely in favor of democratization. We support pluralism. It's something we've always defended. We feel that until society is truly pluralistic, it's a country where neither true democracy nor justice can exist.
Mexican society is largely accepting of its Jewish citizens, but underground hate groups like the so-called Mexican Eagles occasionally crop up, disseminating anti-Semitic literature. David Resnikoff, a distinguished Jewish psychiatrist and third-generation Mexican citizen, argues that the historical contribution of the Jewish community is proof enough of its Mexican identity. But he says superstitious forms of prejudice still exist.
It's being taught that Jews are related to the devil, and we practice all sorts of obscure and satanic worships. And, you know, for some people in the country, outside of Mexico City for certain, there's still the medieval belief that Jews have horns and tails.
In silent testimony to the permanence of the Jewish experience in Mexico are these graves. 3 generations are buried here. Many once were immigrants, but now they rest in Mexican soil, forever in the earth of their adopted home. Chris Klein, CNN, Mexico City.
Jews have experienced a long history of persecution and genocide. In spite of this, they have created vital communities throughout the world by making prayer, education, family, and hard work a priority.